Welcome to the classic series for
March.
February.
April. God.
2014. I can't believe it.
2014.
And the month has gone by already so fast. It's unbelievable. We have some really fun things for you today.
And we even have some wine as well.
Not the least of which is
me.
Ed retiring. No, kidding.
Yeah, shy and retiring is how we look at it.
So, we're going to start with the red.
Well,
This is really fun. And you told a great story in the newsletter about this.
I know. Well, I really had fun writing it because I was very close with Pat. He was a terrific guy. We toured parts of the country together selling wine. We happened to have the same wholesaler, and I actually met him when I was in college. Yeah, I met him when I was in college, and I was writing for my college newspaper, and I went to the Smothers Brothers show to interview the Bee Gees, and in the interim. I met the people, the Smothers Brothers, and who later got into wine with their own winery in Santa Cruz, and then they moved to Sonoma.
The Bee Gees, that's funny.
And Pat Paulsen, and he was a trip. The guy was really funny. I mean, great story. We were touring Colorado together, and the guy, smoked like a fiend. I mean, he probably smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day. I'm surprised he lived as long as he did.
I didn't know that. That's funny.
But we were in a traffic jam. I mean, we stopped dead. We're going from Vail to Aspen to do the Dog and Pony show. And we're stopped dead. And Pat's very agitated and he's smoking. I said, Pat, why don't I get these people out here and you can do a routine? He says, well, what am I going to talk about? I said, just talk about what you do, So I literally went around to a bunch of cars and I said, hey, we're traveling with Pat Paulsen. Of course, everybody then knew who he was.
Right, yeah.
This is 1982 or 3. And so we all get out of our cars and he starts and he's talking for 20 minutes about traffic and the wine business, and we're on the floor, just making it up like that,
That is
and
really funny.
He was something. And then sooner or later, it picked up, and we got him back in our cars and went home, or went onto the next
That is
stop.
really funny. Well, but those are the days. So you're saying 80 when he had refrigerator white and all that stuff. That wine that was what was called refrigerator white. But
oh God, I forgot about that.
Their supplier was, I can't remember which tasting it was. I think it was Wine Warehouse.
Wine Warehouse had Paulsen Vineyards.
Yeah, so one day I go to the tasting and Paulsen's standing there. He passes, and I talked to him about Get Smart in that show. And then next to him was the Smothers Brothers. Dickie Smother was pouring.
Yeah.
And next to him was Fess Parker, all pouring their own wines.
Right. Yeah, they were all with Wine Warehouse at the time.
Well, we ran into Monty at the Family Winemakers tasting down in Del Mar.
Monty Paulsen, Pat's son.
His son. And then we talked a little bit, but the wines were more expensive. And then they brought this very reasonable, and I thought, excellent.
Delicious wine.
Merlot. It's mostly Merlot. Mm-hmm. Wonderful nose. It's sort of vegetal, got the sort of green pepper to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Pat, because he smoked so much, every time he'd open a bottle of wine, would bring me a glass of, is this okay? Because he couldn't taste anything, But every time he'd come to L.A., he'd call me. He'd always have tickets for me at the box office, wherever he was performing. So I got to see him live on countless occasions.
That's fun.
But he was a genuinely super nice guy and funny, period.
The driest humor.
Oh, but he was so funny. I mean, even in casual conversation. And like I said in the article, the best compliment I ever got was when Pat Paulsen says, you're a really funny guy.
Oh, that's funny. Well, he this is $15.99 on the shelf if you can find it. I don't know if this bottling is out there right now, and you get more for $7.99, which is I think it's a 95 or.
I don't know why did they call it Merlot.
I don't know.
It probably doesn't have the legal amount, which is 75%, but it's a fabulous wine, and it's obviously Merlot.
What's really funny too is my kids, because of my propensity for black and white movies and the Marx Brothers and stuff like that, their favorite episode of Get Smart, we have the whole 5 series, is a season he's on one and he plays this murderer, and I brought that up at the tasting.
Oh, you're kidding!
I go, hey, Ace Weems. He goes, yes, I was a murderer.
Well,
really good wine.
I'm giving it a 96 because I love it, and in memory of Pat, who was a great guy. So there. And now for something completely different.
Yeah, we had a lot of Chardonnays this month.
Last month.
I had customers that called me and say, why so much Chardonnay? Well, it sort of, deals with what's out there, what people are bringing, what's being sold. Right. And next month, I may get all Viogniers in here. Who knows? But
I got a Viognier for you.
I'm sure you do. That actually, the wine you brought today Ed brought me a barrel sample of a Chardonnay. It was really good.
Yeah, very, very nice wine. And what was really funny about it is the same guy I won't mention any names, sent me some Pinot Noir samples. They were so bad that it actually almost made me sick pouring them down the drain.
Yeah.
I am not kidding.
That's bad.
But this is delicious.
I like this one. It's called Backstory 2011 Chardonnay. $14.99 on the shelf, $6.99 for more, which is ridiculous because $6.99 Chardonnay in California is going to be like thin, insipid.
Yeah, but this
Chaptalized
really is
almost.
very, very nice.
It's got wonderful elegance, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it really does.
I think the balance is great. It's not. I don't think there's any oak in it. And I think it's.
Yeah, no, I think there's a little bit of oak, but it's judicious. It's not like when I went to the Bordeaux tasting in Los Angeles, and there was like, I don't know, 150 different Bordeauxs, and they had some white Bordeauxs. They literally reeked of oak.
Really?
Oh, they were just so much oak. I couldn't even taste them. I just smelled it. Oh my God! All I can smell is wood. Anyway, this is a terrific buy at $6.99.
I know it's stupid. It's
Yeah,
too,
it really
it's too cheap,
is.
but it's. You know what? You want it for Chardonnay to want to drink more. You want to taste it
Yeah.
again. That's kind of unusual for me. I actually
94.
want
I'm
to taste
giving
it.
94.
There's a website I think you ought to visit.
Oh wow!
It's called
I can only imagine.
It's called ABC.
ABC.
Anything but Chardonnay.
Or anything but
Isn't that funny?
Cabernet. Yeah.
I'm going to give this a 96 myself. You give a 96 to the red, but I like that for the value. It's really, really high.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
I said a 94.
Oh. We're two pieces apart?
Okay. Now
No.
I'm going to have to get my. Oh.
Hello, everybody. This party sounds mucho fun.
Oh, mucho bueno. But I think we're going to end up with a lot more of these things. Hey, our friend Jeff Dye with Happy Camper. Now, the first time they brought me this years ago, and the label was really ugly.
Oh, it was really hideous.
And they changed that. But, this guy just continues to make really good valued wines.
Well, it's unbelievable the stuff that they're putting together. I mean,
You'll love the nose. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's all kinds of raspberry and dark fruit in there.
wow. That's a really nice Cabernet.
You know what's interesting to me?
Reorder $7.99.
You know what's interesting to me?
No.
Well, you've got these big Cabernets, which we're going to taste today at lunch, the Spencer Vineyards from Oakville. And they have their own mystique, and they've got layers of flavors and stuff. But here's a great example of a really reasonable wine. Has its own character. It's not going to be that big, deep, overdone type of wine. But, man, it's got a ton of flavors that you can actually just go, wow, I taste that, and I taste this. There's a little bit of spice in there.
Well, the beauty is for $7.99, you can drink Cabernet every day.
Yeah, exactly.
And not have to spend a fortune.
$12.99 on the shelf. Now they're not all like that. Some of these $12 Cabernets are really, really bad. This one happens to be really, really good.
It's quite nice.
So I'm going to give that a 95.
I'm going to give it a 96. So there.
Well, I just put that in my mouth again. I go, wow, what wonderful berries and fruit flavors.
And last but not least, our buddies
buddy.
at Don Silvestre.
Hey, you're stealing my lines.
Well, how many lines are we going to have?
Hello, everybody.
These guys, I tell you, I never heard of them until you started featuring their wines, and I've been
They're really
blown away by how good this stuff is.
Not only that,
Not only that,
Ed.
Not only that, Paul.
The guy that brings it in from Argentina is an honorable, honest business guy who gives us fair prices, who doesn't play games with us, who understands what we do. How about that in the wine business?
He's not in the wine business. What else does he do? Make windshield wipers?
Yeah, exactly. Because he just,
No rain, no windshield wiper.
if I tell him something, he just accepts what I tell him and moves on to the next thing. I know these other guys argue with you.
Oh,
Well, we don't
God,
understand.
That used to drive me crazy when I was a wine buyer. You'd have a salesman come in with 7 wines. I'd like 3 of them, and I didn't want the other 4. And he would argue about the 4.
Yeah.
He wouldn't
It's like-
go, thanks for the order on the 3. He would,
Right.
what's wrong with this? Well, it doesn't fit our
I
profile.
don't want it. How about that?
God.
You know what I like about this is, distinctly different from that one because it's Argentinian. I get a little different. The fruits are different. I get more like a lychee.
Actually,
kind of thing
absolutely,
than
and
that.
more. And I get some green apple too. I got a little green apple in the other one, but I got really a lot of green apple in this one. And it's really, I love the cleanness of it. It's
It is.
just
It's
really
very clean,
crisp
you're right.
and clean. It's a kind of wine you really want to have with food. And I'm doing a 95. I really like it.
I'll do 95 too. But what's interesting, so if somebody says, "Hey, you sent me 2 Chardonnays," but taste them, they're really different wines.
They're very, very different. hopefully you'll like them both. And
That's the classic series for today.
that's our show for 2014. Oh, finally, his batteries are dead. Thank God. Yes, there is a God.
Yeah, I got you all the way.
There we go. All right.
Let's put it behind us.